I think where the challenge becomes in the skilled trade space, it's more specialized. Trying to use a model that works very well in some spaces may not work quite as well in another space.
Hey everybody, this is Tim and Brett from Skillwork. In the video today, we're going to be talking about excuses or objections that companies make about changing their hiring practice. Temp workers are almost always unqualified or incompetent. So this is a very real objection that we hear, and there's some validity to it, to be honest with you. I faced it in my own background where I've used contracted labor, supplemental labor, travel labor, and there have been times when they have been undependable. I couldn't count on them for sometimes very critical projects. So why is that? Why do they have that attitude? The fact of the matter, oftentimes you follow that back to the root cause, and it has to do with many of the staffing agencies. Their business model is more of a quantity, just pushing numbers through. They don't focus as much on long-term relationship with their skilled staff. They don't see them as long-term or permanent employees. So those temporary workers that arrive at your work location are there with the idea that I don't have any sort of long-term commitment from the company I'm working for, so I'm looking for that. And oftentimes, just when you get comfortable with your temporary labor professional, they leave, they find something else because they're looking for that more dependable long-term relationship. Or even worse, it's a kind of a bait and switch, if you will. They show up on the job, you've done an interview, maybe there's been a resume review, they show up and they just simply don't have the skill set that they've been sold as having. So they show up there and they have a lack of long-term commitment and they don't have the skill set that you need to be able to achieve that objective. So we and other companies are taking a hard look internally at ourselves as a staffing industry and realizing that we need to make a commitment to our employees. We need to look at them as a long-term relationship. For you, if you've had that situation before and you're concerned about that, our recommendation is do your due diligence. Look for a company that you can partner with that understands that skilled professionals deserve the respect, they deserve a long-term commitment, and they deserve a company, a mothership, if you will, that's going to take care of them and make sure that the last thing they have to worry about is where they're going to be working in a month or 2 months or 3 months. So stability for them allows them to focus on your requirement. Even though they may be temporary at your site, for us, we see that a long-term relationship with them.
The temporary model in certain work environments or in certain needs, it works very well. I think where the challenge becomes in the skilled trade space, it's more specialized. Trying to use a model that works very well in some spaces may not work quite as well in another space, which is why in our case and in other companies' cases, we've begun to look at what we refer to as more of a supplemental labor model versus a temporary model. If you're a temp worker by nature, a lot of them are looking, they're only doing that till they find something permanent. So that in itself can create, some of the issues that you mentioned.
Yeah, for us, as part of the staffing industry profession, our business model focuses on bringing respect to our skilled tradesmen, treating them the way we want to be treated as part of our core values. So, we're looking for a long-term relationship with our skilled tradesmen, and they may be at your site to supplement your project or your short-term need, but we're looking at a long-term relationship for them. That gives all of us, we're looking for a place where we don't have to worry about whether I'm going to have an opportunity in the future. So we're removing that sense of anxiety that they have so they can focus on bringing quality and competence to your location. The other thing I mentioned is the resistance or the objection that they're incompetent. Again, how do you solve that? We'll partner with a company that spends a lot of time and effort making sure that the people that we supply not only meet your expectations, but exceed them. So spend the appropriate amount of time making sure you're partnering with the right staffing company.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. For more information on how your organization can overcome skilled labor shortage in America, visit skillwork.com.